see you in another life, when we are both cats.
Okay, wait, pause it. Right there. The good old jump program. And this is the look of a man that knows he did it to himself. For he created a dream world so perfect, so believable, that he knew he'd have to do something he was scared to death of to wake up. Hello again. My name is Caleb, otherwise known as the Movie Knower, and this is now my second video where I show you what I believe to be the Gnosis of Vanilla Sky. So let's go ahead and jump right in.
Open your...
The central character is named David, and names are never an accident. I believe that the choice was made to name this character David because the term Messiah literally translates to king in the line of David. And as we'll see by the end of this video, David needs a savior. And he turns out to be his own personal Jesus Christ. And why not? I mean, David has it all. He's rich, he's handsome, and his friends worship him.
Right there in front of me, and you know what happened? Your life flashed before my eyes.
How was it?
Almost worth dying for.
But even still, we learn two things pretty quick about David. One, he has this recurring nightmare that reveals this deep-seated fear that he is all alone in this great big world. And two, David is terrified to be who he really is.
Be real.
Sure.
The story really gets going when David meets Sophia, a name which in the original Greek means wisdom, and falls head over heels in love with her at first sight. And then you start thinking, now David really does have it all. He must feel so fulfilled. But we know how this world works. We know that no matter how much of it you have, it is never enough. Re-enter the girl that David seemed to have no real regard for before.
Julie Gianni.
Hey, handsome.
My dream girl, Julie Gianni, is your fuck buddy.
All she has to do is bat her eyes and smile real pretty. And what does he do? He jumps right into the car with her. But see, she wanted more too. The physical connection wasn't enough for her. She wanted it all. And she would not accept David being in love with someone else over her.
What are you doing? Okay, I love you. I love you.
She causes her car to crash, and David wakes up disabled and disfigured. Which for a man whose entire identity is wrapped up in appearances is worse than a death sentence. And the best thing that all of David's riches can do to help...
For a minute there, I thought we were talking about a fucking mask!
It's only a mask, if you treat it that way.
And here we see just how shallow David is. How shallow we all are, really. We get so good at putting up a false persona that we become terrified of who we really are without it.
Take off the mask, man. It's freaking me out.
I can't. It's my face. This is my face.
Talk to a shrink. Or you can call me sometime instead of hiding in your apartment. Don't take it out on a girl you only met once.
Did she say that? Once? Did she say that I met her once?
Look.
And now that in his own mind, David has lost everything, he has to find a way to escape the current reality. And money works wonders, because he wakes up the next day and everything is right with the world again. For now.
Even in my dreams, I'm an idiot who knows he's about to wake up to reality.
Because as we see, slowly but surely, David's new dream devolves into a nightmare too. Sophia becomes Julia.
Baby, what's wrong?
His face becomes disfigured again, and David once again finds himself needing a savior. And this, to me, is the most important gnosis in all of the film. If we are unable to truly love ourselves, it would be impossible for us to truly love anyone or anything else. And this is my favorite scene in the movie, because even those of us in the audience that know this is a dream start to question if it's real or not. But David never does. He starts down the road he knows he designed for himself to wake up from this current reality. And he does it without any fear. And finally, after having metaphorically begged God enough, tech support appears. David steps onto the elevator and begins the painful process of accepting the truth of who he really is.
Somebody died. It was me.
He created this dream and still felt unfulfilled and empty while inside of it.
You gave yourself to us. You're now in a suspended state.
David exits the elevator and enters into his metaphorical Garden of Eden.
I want to live a real life. I don't want to dream any longer.
The Gnostics describe the Garden of Eden as a point in time more so than a geographical place, a memory, a piece of bliss forever etched into our minds. For in reality, David's fear that he is all alone in the world is there because he is in fact all alone in this great big world.
Look at us. I'm frozen and you're dead. And I love you.
It's a problem.
And here they even show us the awakening of the non-player character, the soulless empty vessel, the organic portal whose only purpose in the dream was to make David believe it was real.
I'm real. I have 2 daughters. And you know that. What are their names?
For he has no memories of his own beyond the ones David programmed him to have beforehand. David is able to let go of the Sophia fantasy and perhaps see himself with love for the first time through her.
Do you remember what you told me once? That every passing minute is another chance to turn it all around.
And tech support, David's higher self, his personal savior, the serpent in the Garden of Eden story that reveals to us the truth of who we really are, stands convinced his job is done. For David lets go of his fear and eats the forbidden fruit. His life flashes before his eyes in tiny clips and phrases. And then, once again, he wakes up.
Open your eyes.
From one dream to the next we move in this transmigration called life. The question is, how much of this did we create for ourselves? How much of it do we control?
You are their god. And not only that, but you can make them obey you or even destroy you.
It is our own fear that keeps us from finding out.
For them to do is shut the fuck up, especially you.